Puerto Rico's sun was shining, the cocktails were flowing, and the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast thought they were in for a peaceful getaway. But the moment Momma Dee opened her mouth, the entire trip turned into chaos. Cameras were rolling when she stood up in the middle of dinner and said, "Let's be real tonight, since y'all love to fake it for the cameras." From that moment, everything spiraled. What was supposed to be a relaxing tropical escape turned into one of the most explosive nights in LHHO history. Momma Dee didn't just throw shade, she threw receipts, allegations, secret DMs, and private calls, all aimed directly at Salma Slim's, Scrappy's, new flame. The tension was so thick you could feel it through the screen as everyone froze in disbelief when she dropped her line. "Puerto Rico ain't ready for what I got to say." The dinner went silent. Even the ocean waves couldn't drown the drama. Erica Mena whispered, "Oh Lord, she about to blow this whole trip up," while Scrappy buried his face in his hands. And from there, it was war. Momma Dee exposed messages. Salma fired back. Well, what came out left the whole cast and every fan watching completely shook. Because when Momma Dee snaps, she doesn't just speak. She destroys. This wasn't just gossip, this was personal, raw, and televised for the world to see. Puerto Rico had never seen a storm like this before. The Puerto Rican sun was setting over the crystal blue water, the kind of evening that looked straight out of a music video. The Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast had gathered for what was supposed to be a peaceful dinner, a chance to relax, laugh, and maybe even mend a few broken friendships. But when Momma Dee walked in, everyone knew peace was not on the menu. She strutted in like royalty, wearing a flowing golden dress that shimmered under the lantern lights. The entire table went quiet. Scrappy froze halfway through his drink. Salma Slims, sitting beside him, straightened her posture and forced a smile. Bambi rolled her eyes and Erica Mena whispered to Sierra, "Oh Lord, she about to ruin this whole night." Momma Dee looked around the table, one eyebrow raised. "Since everybody wanna act fake," she said in that bold, unmistakable voice, "let's be real tonight." The music from the nearby DJ faded into the background. The tension hit like thunder. Scrappy muttered under his breath, "Mama, don't start." But Momma Dee wasn't listening. "You think this little vacation gonna hide what's really been going on between Salma and my son?" She snapped. "Baby, I got receipts, and Puerto Rico ain't ready." A hush fell over the table. Erica gasped dramatically. "Oh, she got receipts?" While Sierra whispered, "Girl, I'm turning my mic up for this." Salma Slims shifted uncomfortably in her chair. "Miss Dee," she said calmly, "I don't know what you think you saw, but you need to be careful throwing dirt like that." Momma Dee laughed, that loud, sarcastic Southern laugh that always means trouble. "Careful? Baby, I'm always careful. I just don't like seeing my son being played while the whole world's watching." She reached into her purse, pulled out her phone, and started scrolling with her long red nails. "You see this right here?" she said, holding up her screen. "This little message right here came to me last month from one of your friends, sweetie. It says Salma been lying about working late." And this, she zoomed in. This was the night she told Scrappy she was too busy to come home. Scrappy's jaw dropped. "Wait, what? Mama, what are you even talking about?" Momma Dee leaned in closer to him, her voice full of fury and pain. "I'm talking about the same pattern you always fall for. You give your all to women who don't deserve it. First Shay, then Bambi, now her. When you've gone learn, baby." Salma's eyes started to water, but she stood her ground. "I'm not using him, Dee. I love him. But you can't stand the idea of him being happy unless it's on your terms." "Oh, girl, please," Momma Dee said with a smirk. "Love don't come with secret phone calls and sneaky DMs." That line hit hard. The entire table froze. Erica whispered she really said DMIs while production cameras zoomed in on Salma's reaction. Salma finally snapped. "You don't know what you're talking about. You've been going through my life, my name, trying to find something to destroy me. For what? For TV?" Momma Dee stood up from her chair, voice rising. "TV or not, I protect mine. Always have, always will." Bambi put her hand on the table. Dee, come on. Every trip we take, it ends with you throwing shade. Just stop. But Momma Dee wasn't stopping. Her energy was volcanic now. You can't tell me to stop when I'm telling the truth. He's my son, and I'm not about to sit here and watch some pretty little rapper use him for clout. The moment she said rapper, everyone looked at Salma. Even the background music cut off for a second. Selma clenched her fists, her voice shaking but firm. You think I need your son for clout? I've been grinding, I've been hustling, I don't need his name to make mine. You're projecting your own insecurities onto me. Scrappy rubbed his face, whispering, Lord, this ain't happening. Erica leaned to Sierra and said, Girl, this episode gonna break the internet. Then, suddenly, Momma Dee pulled out her phone again and started swiping. Y'all don't believe me? Fine, let's read it out loud. Scrappy jumped up, knocking his chair back. Mama, stop. This ain't how you handle things. Momma Dee ignored him and read the message. I miss you too, baby. I can't wait to see you again. That's what your little girlfriend here was sending to another man. Selma gasped, her voice breaking. That's not true. You don't even know who that was. Then who was it, sweetheart? Momma Dee taunted. You gonna lie to his face too? Scrappy was shaking his head, pacing. This is crazy. This right here is exactly why I can't bring you nowhere, Mama. But the scene was far from over. Erica Mina, always ready for drama, said loudly, Wait, if she's got messages, let's see all of them. 'Cause I know editing's gonna make this look wild. Momma Dee rolled her eyes. Honey, don't need editing when you got facts. Almost. Tears were now flowing. She whispered, You just want to humiliate me. You never even gave me a chance. For a split second, something in Momma Dee's face softened. Her voice lowered. You remind me of every woman that ever broke my son's heart. And I swore to God I'd never watch that happen again. Scrappy stared at her, his anger fading into something else. Disappointment. You think you protecting me, but you hurting me, Mama? Every time. That line landed deep. Even the cast was quiet. Momma Dee didn't respond. She just took a long sip from her drink, her eyes distant. Erica broke the silence. Whew, chilly. Puerto Rico ain't ready for this episode. Later that night, the group broke apart early. Some went back to their rooms, others just wandered by the beach trying to cool off. But production kept rolling because everyone knew the next day would be even worse, in her private confessional. Momma Dee looked straight at the camera and said, People call me messy, but I call it motherly. If I see a snake slither in near my baby, I'm gonna chop its head off every time. Meanwhile, Salma Slim sat alone on her balcony, crying into her phone as she texted someone, She really tried to ruin me. I can't do this anymore. And in another part of the resort, Scrappy sat by the pool shaking his head. She my mama, but she don't know when to stop. And now, everything's fallen apart. By the end of the night, the entire cast was talking about it. Erica tweeted Puerto Rico was supposed to be fun. Instead, it turned into a courtroom. Fans on social media immediately caught wind of it. And soon the hashtag Momma Dee spills it all started trending. Some viewers sided with Momma Dee, saying she's just protecting her son like any real mama would. Others were disgusted, calling her toxic and jealous. But the one thing everyone agreed on? That dinner was legendary as the episode closed. The camera lingered on Momma Dee walking away from the dinner table. Wind blowing her hair as she muttered, If I don't tell the truth, who will? And with that, one thing was clear. Puerto Rico's peace was gone, and the royal storm named Momma Dee had officially been unleashed. The next morning in Puerto Rico was bright, but the air was still heavy with tension. After that explosive dinner, no one was talking, not even Scrappy and Salma. The resort staff pretended not to notice the cameras and whispers. But everyone could feel that something big had been broken. Scrappy sat alone on his balcony, staring at the waves. His phone buzzed non-stop. Missed calls from Momma Dee, text messages from the producers, and DMs from fans who had already caught word of the drama. Man, this is supposed to be a vacation, not a war zone, he muttered. He rubbed his temples and sighed. Every time she'll do this, it's me who gotta clean it up. Meanwhile, on the other side of the resort, Salma Slim sat with Erica, Mena, and Sierra, still shaken from the night before. Her voice cracked as she said, I tried to stay calm, but she came for me in front of everybody. She called me a liar, a user. Like I don't have feelings. Erica nodded. That's what she does, girl. She tests people, but you handled it better than most would. Salma's hands trembled as she stirred her drink. No, I'm not done. If she want to embarrass me in front of the world, I'm not just going to sit here quiet. She crossed the line. The producers were quick to take advantage. They organized a bonding beach day, a fake attempt to bring peace. But everyone knew they were just setting the stage for round 2. When the cast arrived at the beach, the vibes were awkward. The sun was hot, the waves were perfect, but no one could relax. Scrappy kept his distance, headphones in, staring out at the water. Momma Dee showed up late, strutting down the sand in a long floral robe, big hat, and oversized shades like she owned the island. Erica muttered, Oh Lord, here come the queen again. The cameras rolled as Momma Dee smiled and said, Good morning, everyone. I hope y'all slept well after all that truth I dropped last night. Sierra quickly tried to calm things. Dee, please, we don't need no more drama today. But Momma Dee chuckled. Sweetheart, I don't bring drama. I reveal it. That was it. Selma Slims turned around, took off her shades, and stared her down. Then reveal it, right? Because last night you revealed a bunch of lies. Everyone froze. Momma Dee smirked. Oh, so now I'm a liar. Baby, I don't gotta lie. I'm grown. I just don't like women who think they can play my son like a fool. Salma stepped closer. You don't even know me. You never gave me a chance to show you who I really am. You just decided I was the enemy. You made yourself the enemy, Momma Dee snapped. I see how you move. You act sweet, but your intentions ain't pure. Intentions. Selma's voice cracked with emotion. All I ever did was love him, despite the baggage, despite the past. But you can't stand seeing him happy with someone who's not you controlling his every move. The cast gasped. Erica whispered to Sierra, Did she just say that? Scrappy finally stood up from his chair. Yo, y'all trippin'. We supposed to be chillin'. I can't do this no more. Momma Dee crossed her arms. You can walk away, but you can't walk from the truth. Salma pointed at her. Then tell the truth. You said you had screenshots, right? Then show them all. Right here. Right now. The crew's microphones picked up every word. You could hear the wind, the waves, and the tension cutting through everything. Momma Dee smirked. You sure about that, baby? Don't start something you can't finish. Said, show them, Salma demanded, her voice trembling but brave. With dramatic flair, Momma Dee pulled her phone from her purse again. Fine then. She scrolled, tapped, and held up her screen. You see this? I miss the way you used to hold me. That's what you sent to another man while you were supposed to be with my son. Gasps. Cameras zoomed in. Erica covered her mouth. But Salma didn't flinch. She stepped forward, grabbed her own phone, and said, You want to play with screenshots? Cool, let's play. She scrolled, found the same message thread, and showed the full version to the cameras. That's my cousin Dee. You cut off half the conversation. You really that desperate to make me look bad? Silence hit like a bomb. Even Momma Dee's confidence wavered for a second. Your cousin? She asked, frowning. Yes, my cousin Salma repeated. He lives in Atlanta. He's family. And you twisted it because you wanted to believe something ugly. Scrappy's face changed. His anger melted into confusion and shame. Mama, please tell me you didn't. Erica leaned over to Sierra and whispered, Oh, she definitely did. Momma Dee's voice cracked for the first time. I was told it was a man you used to date. Salma shook her head. You were told wrong, but instead of checking, you brought it to dinner on camera and tried to destroy me. That's not love. That's cruelty. The entire beach went silent. The only sound was the ocean and a producer whispering, "Keep rolling." Scrappy finally spoke, his voice calm but heavy. "You see what happens when you don't mind your business, Mama? You hurt people that never did nothing to you." Momma Dee looked away, tears welling in her eyes, but pride holding them back. "I was just trying to protect you," she muttered. Salma shook her head. "You don't protect people by breaking them." Bambi stepped in, trying to defuse the situation. "All right, y'all. This gotta stop. It's too much." But even she knew the damage was done. Momma Dee turned to walk away, but Salma's voice stopped her. "You can't keep using love as a weapon, Dee. Not everything is about you being right. Sometimes it's about you being kind." That line hung in the air like smoke. In her confessional later, Erica Mena summed it up perfectly. "This ain't no mother-son drama anymore. This is a generational curse playing out on camera." By the end of the beach day, Scrappy was gone. No one knew where he went. Selma cried alone by the water, and Momma Dee sat in her room staring at her phone, replaying the moment she realized she might have just pushed her son and everyone else too far. On social media, the internet exploded. Clips from the argument leaked within hours. Fans debated every detail. Some sided with Selma, calling her grace under fire. Others still defended Momma Dee. She might be messy, but she's real. But one thing was certain: Puerto Rico would never be forgotten. The royal queen of chaos had struck again. And this time the fallout was bigger than anyone imagined. As the sun set over Puerto Rico's glittering coastline, tension in the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta crew reached its boiling point. What was meant to be a celebratory vacation had turned into a battlefield of accusations, exposed lies, and shattered alliances. After Momma Dee's bombshell revelation about Salma Slim's and Scrappy's behind-the-scenes drama, the entire cast was on edge. But no one expected how far this chaos would go. Scrappy, pacing around the resort's private lounge, was fuming. His mother's words were echoing in his head, every painful truth she'd unleashed in front of everyone. She hadn't just exposed Salma's secrets. She'd dragged Scrappy's name into the mud too, painting a picture of betrayal and manipulation. "Man, why's she always gotta do this? Why she always gotta make a scene?" he muttered, slamming his glass down. Meanwhile, Salma Slim sat in her suite, scrolling through her phone as gossip blogs exploded with clips from Momma Dee's rant. Her name was trending for all the wrong reasons. One headline screamed, "Momma Dee exposes Salma Slim's hidden life. Scrappy stunned." Another read, "LHHATL Puerto Rico trip ends in disaster." Salma threw her phone onto the bed and whispered, "She's not gonna ruin me. Not again. She's not gonna ruin me. Not again." When the cast gathered for their final night dinner, the tension was thick enough to slice through. Everyone was silent when Momma Dee entered, dressed in a bright floral gown, unapologetic as ever. Her aura screamed confidence. Sand chaos? She sat down slowly, smirking. "Y'all been acting like I said something that wasn't true. If the shoe fits, baby, lace it up and wear it." Scrappy's jaw tightened. "Ma, you didn't have to say all that. You didn't have to embarrass me like that." Momma Dee chuckled softly, sipping her drink. "Embarrass you? Boy, I raised you. Ain't nothing I said that wasn't already out there. I just gave the truth a microphone." Selma slammed her napkin on the table. "You think this is a joke? You humiliated me on camera, Dee. You don't know the full story." Momma Dee leaned forward. "Oh, I know enough. I know how you've been playing my son like a fool, acting like you so loyal while whispering in other men's ears. You lucky I only told half of what I know." The table fell silent. Even the producers sitting in the corner looked stunned. Scrappy rubbed his face, his frustration boiling over. "This ain't love. This is madness. We came here to get peace, but all y'all want is chaos." Selma glared at him, her voice trembling. "Don't act innocent, Scrap. You've been stringing me along, telling me one thing while your mama feeds the world another story. Maybe she wouldn't talk if you actually defended me for once." That set him off. Scrappy stood, knocking over his chair. "You think I don't defend you? You think I asked for this? My own mama out here airing out my life like it's her reality show. He turned toward Momma Dee, his voice rising. You always want control. You can't stand to see me happy unless it's on your terms. Momma Dee stood too, eyes flashing. You think happiness means letting a woman play with your legacy? I'm protecting you, son. You might not see it now, but you will. The argument was reaching its peak. Salma's eyes filled with tears, her voice cutting through the chaos. I loved you, Scrap, but I can't keep fighting your battles and your mama's too. This isn't a relationship. It's a war zone. With that, she grabbed her bag and walked out. Cameras followed her through the resort hallway as she muttered under her breath. Let them tear each other apart. I'm done. Scrappy slumped back into his chair, shaking his head. Momma Dee, still standing, looked around the table, her voice quieter now. Sometimes you gotta lose to learn who's real. And I don't regret speaking my truth. Later that night, Scrappy was spotted alone on the beach, sitting by the water with a bottle beside him. The waves crashed gently as he replayed everything in his head. For years, his mother's love had been both his greatest shield and deepest wound. He loved her, but her interference had cost him almost every relationship he'd ever had as the camera zoomed in. He whispered to himself, I just want peace. I just want to be free from all this. Meanwhile, in another part of the island, Momma Dee was on the phone with a close friend, her tone unapologetic. I did what had to be done. He might hate me now, but one day he'll thank me for exposing that girl. But what Momma Dee didn't know was that Salma Slims wasn't going down quietly. A leaked voicemail from one of Salma's friends hinted that she had proof screenshots, messages and voice notes that could flip the whole narrative upside down. By the next morning, gossip pages were teasing a part 2 to the Puerto Rico scandal. Salma speaks, the receipts Momma Dee doesn't want you to see. As dawn broke over the Caribbean, it was clear that this wasn't the end. It was just the calm before an even bigger storm. And for Scrappy, who stood at the center of it all, one thing was certain: love, loyalty, and legacy had never been more dangerously entangled. Would Momma Dee finally face backlash for crossing the line? Would Salma Slims reveal her side and destroy the Dee dynasty once and for all? Or would Scrappy find a way to mend the wreckage before his family and his reputation completely fell apart? Only time and the cameras of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta would tell. And just like that, Puerto Rico turned into the hottest battlefield in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta history. What started as a tropical getaway ended in public humiliation, explosive secrets, and a family torn apart under the spotlight. Momma Dee's fiery personality may have stolen the show, but her actions left permanent cracks in Scrappy's already fragile peace. Now the question everyone's asking is, did Momma Dee go too far this time? Was she really trying to protect her son? Or was this about control and clout? And what about Salma Slims? Her silence since that night has been deafening. But insiders say she's preparing to clap back with receipts that could completely flip the story. If she releases what she's got, Momma Dee's empire might crumble faster than anyone expects. Scrappy, on the other hand, is caught between loyalty to his mother and the heartbreak of another failed relationship. Fans are calling this his breaking point, the moment he either stands up for himself or gets swallowed by the drama forever. But one thing's for sure, this saga isn't over, not even close. So tell me, whose side are you on? Momma Dee's, for keeping it real no matter the cost? Or Salma Slims, for finally standing her ground after all the chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because the truth is about to explode in ways no one's ready for. And trust me, the next episode, it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything.